Hi. So in this presentation, we are going to discuss about IELTS essays, and we will also see some best practices that we can follow to learn the skill of writing. Writing is one thing which is asked in all the tests, whether you are appearing for IELTS or TOEFL or PTE. So whatever type of test you plan to do, you will have to prepare yourself on the writing part of the test. So this is an indispensable part of all the tests, and we'll see what best things we can learn and what best practices can help us to write quickly and seamlessly. All right, so let's try to understand the question first. The question says, some people think that illegal internet downloads are having a negative effect on music industry. Others feel that they have little or no impact on artists. So the question is all related to illegal internet downloads, and that too related to music industry. So basically it's about songs which are downloaded illegally. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. So we are supposed to discuss both the views and then give opinion. Now see, if you look at this question, there are three aspects. Number one, we are supposed to talk about the benefits of the practice, like what is the advantage of this when people download the music, what would be the drawbacks or the negative aspects of this practice, if they like what could be the drawbacks of um, downloading such kind of music, and the third thing is your own view. So there are three things, and you must fulfill this criteria, right? You must talk about the positive aspects of it, the negative aspects of it, and also give your own verdict, like you according to you, is this a good practice or a bad practice? So these are the three things which must be fulfilled to constitute task completion. So if you want to get full marks in task completion, you must have answered all these three questions in the answer that you give. And I have so let's just go through a sample answer. This is also written in the comments, so you can use the same structure to develop your own writing skills. This is meant to be a tutorial sort of. I mean, this presentation is a tutorial. You can use it as a guide to develop your own writing skills. So the first paragraph here is the introduction. You'll find a few sentences are marked in green. So these are the sentences which are some standard sentences or structures that you can use in any essay. So like for example, whenever there is a mixed view type of topic, wherein the question is discuss both views and then give your opinion. So both views and then give your opinion, and you want to say that there are mixed views about something, you can always use this as a standard sentence in all the essays. Wherever you find discuss both views and give opinion, so you can say there are mixed views about the impact of illegal internet downloads on music industry. Now you can say anything. Now it could be there are mixed views about the subject of best method of schooling children. There are mixed views about the type of house we should live in. There are mixed views about the advantages and disadvantages of living in rural areas and urban areas. So any kind of essay you get, whatever the topic, if it is about discuss both views and give your opinion, you can use this. There are mixed views about da da da, because end of the day you are supposed to talk about both of them. So why not start with a kind of a neutral first statement which says that okay, there are mixed views about something, while some people, and then the second sentence can start with while. So this is again a standard structure which you can use. See, I'm not a big fan of using templates all the time, but then if there are some templates available with us, they definitely help us to speed up. So I would not suggest you to cram all the templates and be a slave of structures all the time, but then I would definitely suggest you to pay attention towards these structures, because they make you very fast, and use them sparingly. Use them whenever you feel like. Don't kind of overuse them, but then yes, be aware of them and use them consciously. While some people consider it to be a boon, so boon is like something like a vardhan in Hindi, something which is very good. Others regard it as a bane. So bane is something which is harmful. This essay will discuss both perspectives and argue against the practice of illegal downloads. So fine, very, very clearly in the beginning itself, the perspective is presented that we will discuss both views and we will argue in favor of, against the illegal downloads. And then starts the first paragraph. And the first paragraph, whatever is written in green here, is something which you can use in your essay. So whenever you start the first paragraph, you can always start with to begin with. So this gives you a very good start. To begin with, those who support illegal downloads give two major arguments. So basically, we are just giving two arguments here, or two reasons to support illegal downloads. So those who support illegal downloads, what do? They give two major arguments or two major reasons to support their view. So you can say reasons, you can say arguments to support their views. They opine that. Now, opine is the verb form of the word opinion. So opinion की जगह पे आप क्या बोल दे रहे हैं? You are saying they opine that. Opine that means they hold the notion that, or they say that artists such as singers, composers, musicians, and others earn a lot by see, this comma is very important because here this is the subject. Artists such as all these people earn a lot by recording and selling music. So money is not the concern, because according to this guy, he says that you have already earned a lot. So why not let others enjoy the music? In their viewpoint, it does not cause any major dent to their revenues if people download the songs after it is released. Now see, when you say their revenues means the revenues of all these people. So the noun is just mentioned in the previous line. So we can say their revenues. And does not cause any major dent. Does not cause any major dent. This is idiomatic usage. So we have used an idiomatic structure here. Dent is loss. Does not cause any negative impact, we can say. So instead of that, we have used this word dent, which is a new word here. If people download the songs after its release. The second reason put forth in favor of illegal. Now see, there are two major arguments we said. So first reason is given here, and then quickly we talk about the second reason. The second reason put forth in favor of illegal downloads is that it actually adds to popularity of artists, helping them to promote their brand value. Now see, this is called as a participle clause. It is modifying this artists. So we have just put a comma and we have written helping them to promote their brand value. So which means, you are just qualifying it. This is called as a modifier. So, and you can use, we'll discuss about this more in some other essays. But yes, this is one variety of grammatical structure where you are using a modifier to modify artists. Giving extra details about artists, that how this activity helps the artists, helping them to promote their brand value. So like this, we are, I'm trying to say that we are gaining marks, we are getting high marks. We're trying to get high marks in the grammar part by showcasing a variety of grammatical structures. As we have discussed in previous essay, grammar range and accuracy is one parameter on which you are evaluated. So from that perspective, using as many grammatical structures as possible is advisable. Now this is again a fixed structure. On the flip side, so when you want to change gears and when you want to talk about the other side, you can use this structure on the flip side. On the flip side, those who oppose illegal downloads bolster their viewpoint. Bolster is support. So whenever you get a new point, just make a note of it. Support their viewpoint by stating that such practices lead to substantial revenue losses to the music industry. So now this guy is talking about the revenue losses, which is the first point to note. For example, if Pirates gets access to original song before it is released, the artists suffer a humongous loss. So, this is also one possibility that Pirates get access to song before its release. Such losses lead to conflicts between different artists as it generates plagiarism and other malpractices. So, sometimes people just steal the song and say that this is mine, and all this copying business happening there in the music industry. So that is what this particular statement is pointing towards. So the first argument given here, or the reason given here against the practice of illegal downloads, is number one, revenue losses, and number two, it may lead to some conflicts between the parties involved. Now let us see what is the next paragraph saying. Now see, one more thing, this is very important to note, is we have written one paragraph in support of this, because we are not actually supporting the idea of illegal download. So for this we have just written one paragraph. I'm just highlighting it for the purpose of telling you, or just distinguishing it, that okay, we have written one paragraph here and two paragraphs against. So these are the two paragraphs where we are criticizing the practice of illegal downloads, because eventually we are going to say that this is not a good practice. So for this we have written actually two paragraphs. I'll just, for the sake of clarity, I'm just highlighting it. You're not supposed to do anything of this sort in your actual test. Just for the, just so that you understand, we have I mean, this is these are the two paragraphs which say why illegal downloads why the practice of illegal download is not good. So I'll just mark it with some other color for just the sake of the argument here. Further, such illegal activities promote a culture of earning easy money through piracy. The whole black internet and underground market thrives on such illegal practices. So I've just highlighted this word thrives on. It's a new word here. This easy money gives rise to other unhealthy practices in the society, as the perpetrators of such crimes do not value the importance of hard work and artistic excellence. In fact, there's no need of comma here. Hard work and artistic excellence can go together also. All right, fine. So these are the two paragraphs we have written against piracy, that piracy is a bad practice. Why is it a bad practice? Because of these reasons here. Oh, I've just removed the highlight. It was not looking very good. So fine, this makes sense. Like, we have written one paragraph on the advantages of downloads and two paragraphs against it. And now there is a crisp and clear, what do you call, conclusion. And you should always write to conclude before writing conclusion. And this is one structure which I always like. Given that illegal sales of, so you can start with given that. Given that means as we know, or in the backdrop of this information, we want to say something, so we can use this kind of structure. Given that illegal sale of music leads to huge revenue losses and promotes an unhealthy culture, I do not support this practice. So this is a very simple single line conclusion. In conclusion, you are supposed to be extremely precise and to the point. Do not try to give any examples or elaborate it. Just write it very precisely the way it is written here. So yeah, so this is the whole structure of the essay. What I would request you to do is make some sentences on your own using these green colored sentences. There are mixed views about, so you can say, let us say there are, I'll write it in some other color just to showcase that we are practicing here. Let's say I take this orange color, whatever, I'll take this maroon, let's say. So there are mixed views about the subject of teaching children in a mixed school or a single gender school. This is one sentence, right? There are mixed views about the advantages and disadvantages of living in a big city mixed views about the advantage of a big city or a small city. There are mixed, so you can write this. There are mixed views about the subject of studying. There are mixed views about the subject of including music in higher classes, in including music as a compulsory subject, compulsory, compulsary, compulsory. Y is compulsory incorrect. Compulsory, okay, ORY. Sorry, so the correct spelling is ORY. Compulsory subject. There are mixed views about the subject of compulsory. About, we can remove this subject of. There are mixed views about including music as a compulsory subject in school education. So, whatever the subject, you can always talk about it. You can always use this structure. There are mixed views about. And always, as you saw, I got confused about the spelling of compulsory. So, it is important that if you're not sure, do not use that word. Instead of that, you can use some other word. Music as an indispensable subject or as an essential subject or as a mandatory subject in school education. We can use some other word. So from this perspective, developing vocabulary makes a lot of sense. A strong vocabulary can be of great help. So what I'm trying to say is, now whatever structures are marked here, please make some sentences on your own so that you get accustomed to use these kind of grammatical structures. And this is how you should use each essay as a template to develop your own writing. See, all these samples are fantastic, but then how would you make sure that you also start using in the same way? So I would request you to use these structures, whatever sentences you find here, like for example, given that, let's say. So how would you draft any sentence? To conclude, given that a small city has a small city, given that a small city is, given that the environment of a small city is conducive to health, and that a small city provides more opportunities to mix with people, more opportunities of community living. Community living is like living together, or community life, community living. I'm saying community living, given that environment of us is conducive to health, and that a small city provides. So I'll not repeat this. Small city, I'll say it provides. So that would be better. And that it provides more opportunities of community living. I support the idea of living in a small city than in a big city. So, you can use this structure to write different types of conclusions based on the topic. But yes, if you are conversant with, this is not just one structure. We could have written it in a different way also. To conclude, while it is a matter of personal choice, I prefer to live in a small city because it provides more opportunities to meet people, to socialize, and because, so I'm repeating the structure, and because the environment is healthier there. So like this, you can use different structure. You can use while also. While is a matter of personal choice. I prefer to live in a small city because it provides more opportunities to socialize, and because the environment is healthier there. So I can always, there is referring to the small city only. So fine, you can use this kind of structure also. But then, yeah, you have to have some structures around writing the introduction, writing the body sentences, writing conclusions. And there's a host of such structures which I've compiled in an Excel file. I showed, I can send a link of that also to you. So you would have access to all those phrases which you can use either in the body or in conclusion or in the introduction. And that makes your writing that much faster. See, you have got limited time. And in that limited time, you're supposed to write an essay. You will not get any more time and you will not get great marks to write a beautiful structure. All that is required is that you should fulfill the requirements of the task in terms of task completion, cohesion, coherence, vocabulary, and grammar. So don't go for an overkill. Try to write stuff, write a very good essay in the given time span. I'll not say very good essay, but reasonably good first draft, which fulfills the criteria. I think I've explained myself what I'm trying to say. The whole point is, please don't try to go for an overkill. Most of the people do not do good in writing because of this because of this compulsion to use heavy words or to overdo stuff. You have to play a very optimal game wherein you are balancing all the aspects of uh, writing in terms of grammar, vocabulary, writing within the given time span. This is again very important. So if you are given 40 minutes to write an essay, try to finish it in 30 minutes so that you would have 10 minutes to check what you have written. So these are some golden nuggets about writing. you know just try to fulfill the criteria. Do not make sure that you do not go wrong on your grammar, on vocabulary, on content. You answer all the questions and you meet that criteria of evaluation. So I think that's the crux of it. This is one very good way of learning your or improving your writing skills. Take some samples. I'm going to put lots of samples here on the internet along with their answers so you can use them to develop your own writing skills. In case you want to write something and get them checked, you're most welcome to contact me, and I would be able to help you in the best possible way. Thank you for watching. All the very best to you. Thank you.